Welcome everyone to the channel. Today we are going to be prototyping a full landing page of a website. A student came to me that he wants to learn some of the animation that he saw on the website that is very interesting, and he wants to also write the animation in code as well, but he needed to know how to achieve the animation in Figma first before coding the website. Shout out to him because he's the one that made the tutorial possible. You have seen the preview, and then I know you are interested in knowing how to achieve some of those stuff. Let's get started because there's a lot to learn. You just have to click on the link in the description to get the resources that we have used. Then what you do is that you come here to this on the name of the website, click on the arrow. Here you are going to get a notch on the side, duplicate to draft. Where you duplicate to draft is now you now have your own copy that you can now share, you can now use, you can now edit. Okay, so on this one is more like the easiest here. Now select this, you a component, a variant, and take this one, go to selection color and change it to white. Press Ctrl, select this, Ctrl C, and double click here. Select this one, Ctrl Shift R to replace. So you can now take this one, Ctrl X, and go to the components section. This one is far. I don't know why it's far from me. Okay, press Ctrl V to press it somewhere. Make sure you know where you are pressing it, so because we need to prototype it. You come here, switch to prototype, and you say when there is a hover, while hovering, the animation should be instant. So okay, so for this this one is going to be a little bit tricky, so you duplicate like this. Okay, if you double click, you realize that this one is different and this one is also different, so we need to merge these two shapes together so it will be easier to do. So we select both of them by holding shift and then come to this boolean and union. Okay, when you do, I think it's going to be aligned some of things. So now go. Okay, so what you now do is to just align them very well. Select the text and the new shape you just formed and align horizontal like this. Okay, so then the next thing we'll do is to select this man, the new shape. You can see we have this union here, so select the union and then go to the fill and switch to gradient. Okay, so on this gradient we'll take this one to select this, Ctrl C, and select this, Ctrl V, so that they will be the same color like that. But there is something that we need to do here. Okay, so when you come here and you need to extend this man like this, you have something like this now. Okay, so now on the center we are going to click and then make it white. Okay, so I'll hold Alt key and duplicate this white like this. So we'll make something like this and we'll make something like this. Okay, yeah, perfect. So the idea is that this one is going to come here and so now that you have it like this, you add it, make it a component and then add a variant. So on the variant, it's going to be aligned horizontally. So if I select this, I will extend this man like this and I will take this variant this side. Okay, so I will have 3 variants. Okay, the idea here is that when you hover on this, it should enter here and change to white. Okay, because if you look at what we have here, when you hover on this, you can see the way it wipes. You leave and it wipes again. So we are going to make this one. So when you double click to the union, you see on the linear gradient here, you can then select this man. So when you select this man, you have something like this now. Okay, so I just want to make it shorter. So you can see the white is here, the white point is here, and then the white stop is also here. So it's basically whatever that is within this area is going to be perfect white. Okay, then the next one is to add another variant. Select this and then add another variant like this. Okay, this one is going to be, since when you when your mouse comes here, okay, so it changed to this, and when your mouse leaves, it should change to this as well. So this one will go to the union section again and go to the variant, go to the gradient, sorry, and take this man like this. We need it to wipe, so it's going to wipe like this. Okay, now we will switch to prototype and say when the mouse enters, okay, when the mouse enters here, if the mouse enters here, it should be smart animate, and we are going to change it to something quick. But when you change it to quick, it's going to bounce. But let's see. So I don't need it to bounce. I need it to be ease in and ease out, and the animation there should be something like 600. Okay, so this one, when the mouse leaves here, because when the mouse enters here, it's going to come here, and when the mouse leaves here, it's going to enter here as well, like this. So when the mouse enters, it's going to be the same thing. Okay, now if you should select this Ctrl+C, and let's take this one out and delete. Okay, so take this one and delete as well. So Ctrl+V. So make sure the frame is selected and press Ctrl+V. So now if you go to your preview like this, you see, if I refresh, you have something like this. What's happening? Okay, so okay, it is wiping. All right, so we need to go back to the component sets and then know why it's a continuous movement there. So when you come here, you see the mouse enters. So I'll change this one. I think 600 is too fast. I'll change it to 400. Okay, so and then when the mouse enters, it's okay. How about this one? Oh, you can see we also mouse enter, so it's going to be mouse leaving. Okay, so when the mouse leaves, it's going to be 400 as well milliseconds. So if I refresh now and I hover, you can see. So when I leave, interesting. But now nothing is happening again. If the mouse enters, nothing is happening, and that is because it's here now. Okay, when you enter here, it comes here. When you leave here, it comes here. But when you now leave here, you have not given it any command. So what do we do? So the trick we are going to use there is that we'll take this one back to this place and tell it that it's going to be after delay, and it's going to be as fast as possible. So as fast as possible, 1 milliseconds. That's the least we can go. And then we'll take this man and tell it to be 100. And it's going to be instance, so that it will be as fast as possible. In short, instance. Okay. Now if I refresh, so when I refresh and then I hover on this one, you can see when I leave. Okay. If I go again and I leave, and if I go again and I leave. Okay. The idea is that if you go faster, it might start getting weird, bro. I think he got it perfectly now. Okay, but let's say you give it something like it should delay for about 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. Okay, and then you refresh. What will now happen is that if you hover, and it will go. Okay, now you can see when you move fast, you can see nothing is happening. It has to wait till 1 second before it will not change to this place that when the mouse enters again. But we want it to be as fast as possible, so like anybody previewing the prototype will not notice what has gone behind the scene. Okay, so it's going to be 1 millisecond, and you refresh, and then you have it like this. Okay, so now I believe you've gotten the idea. That is what is going on there. Okay, so we have this here and we have this here. So we'll take this one, Control C, and come here, Control Shift R, and then when you refresh and you preview, interesting. Okay, so that is basically the area. The next one is this hero session. It has to be moving for some times, and then when you click here, it has to change as well. So there's a lot of work to do here, so just let's get to work. Okay, what we'll do here is to maybe just move this man out and take it somewhere here like this, and then select the frame tool. So what we want to do is to make this section to be inside a frame. So you drag like this, okay. So when you drag like this, you can see some of the elements have entered inside the frame like this. Okay, so what you do is to, I can see I will undo that, and this one did not enter, so I'll select Ctrl X, then select the frame that I just applied, Ctrl V. So it came weird, so I'm using the arrow to move it up a little bit like this. Okay, so I will make sure it's not clip content, so that this one is going to be on up there like this one, so it will take the design there. Now what we'll do here is to duplicate this man like this. So when we do something like this, we are going to remove all the auto layout in there, but before then let's remove the auto layout first. You select this and press to remove an auto layout. Okay, we have these people here. You can say remove guides. I think I want to remove all the guides, so I'll click here. When you right click here, you said remove all horizontal guides, and click and remove all vertical guides like that, so they will not be distracting anymore. Okay, So what we need to do here is to remove this auto layout. You press Ctrl backspace to remove auto layout, and you come here, press Ctrl backspace to remove this one as well. So now you have this one separate, this one separate, and this one separate. Okay, then the next thing is to add them. We want to add them a mask, and to mask them we add the rectangle on them like this. So you right click on this rectangle and say center back. So when you center back, it's not behind the text. So we duplicate. I'm holding Alt to duplicate because this one need to have its own as well, like this, and this one need to have its own, the stuff here. Okay. Another thing we need to know is that this person, what we want to do now, this one now should also have this animation here. So, and if we should if we finish doing whatever we are doing and we change it, it's not going to take effect. So we have to change it at this initial stage before it will be easier for us to work with. So if you select this one now, you see that the width and the height is way smaller than this. So this one is a 240. So I'll press Ctrl C to copy. So what we'll do here is to have another set like this. Okay, so what we'll do now is to duplicate this man and 3 of them at once, and expand these people like this. So because I know they are going to be big. Okay, so when you select this one, make sure you go to scale, so that you press scale on the keyboard to go to the scale. That's 2, and then you come here to this width and press Ctrl V, or then you write 240 and press enter. You can see it's as big as that. Sorry. I want to extend this people like this. So please. So go to scale and 240 and 240. Okay, so if you go to prototype, you can see the whole prototype is in place. So all we just have to do now is to make this one big. I'm going to come here to this variant here and then just select the variant name and just make it big. I want to rename it big because when I come here to this place and I rename this component button, okay, and if let's say I go to the assets for an instance and I go to button and I drag this button out, by default it's coming up as the small one here. So but when I go to the property one and click inside here, you can see I have big. Once I change it to big, it will not change to the big size. Okay, but you can just Ctrl C there, which I love doing. So I'll press Ctrl X and then I will come here and press Ctrl Shift R. Okay, and then Ctrl C to copy the big, Ctrl Shift R like that. So it will now be the one that have the animation there. Okay, now what we'll do on this, we want to select this and use the mask on it. Right click and use as a mask, and select the text and the rectangle, use as a mask. Select the rectangle and the text and use as a mask. Okay, so then the next one is to come to this one. This is an auto layout now. Control backspace to remove the auto layout. And for this particular one, there's something that we need to do. We are going to take this one and you select both of them like this and add a component set on them. Okay, so we are going to come back on that, but for this one we are going to duplicate in 4 places. So you hold Alt and drag like this, then you press Ctrl D, so to have 4. The idea is that this one is going to have a different name. This one and this one are together, and this one and this one are together. Okay, so for this one it said reserve a space, so you can basically select other ones and change their name. So let me change the name of mine. Okay, so here I'm going to select this one, Ctrl Shift U, Ctrl Shift V to paste and replace. Remember it has a mask, so that's why I'm not seeing that text very well. So if you go to the rectangle here, the rectangle is the mask, so if you extend the rectangle on your own, when I do that the text breaks, so that's why I just leave it on there. Okay, so I would select this one now and duplicate like this, so you can see I now have 4. So 1 2 3 4, like here. Perfect. The next thing that we are going to do is to determine how this one is going to be, because it needs to stay for a while and then appear and stay for a while again and appear. Okay, so for that we are going to prototype this one like this. I think I'm going to select these people and extend like this. Okay, so I would select this one and this one, I will duplicate. Okay, first of all, what I want to do, you need to be careful, select the variants, okay, and duplicate like this. So what I want to do is to, when there's a hover, okay, I think I need to arrange them very well. Okay, there's a little error that we are having there, so we need to correct it. This one is still telling us that the name is confused. Just to change the name, okay, we can just say arrow right, okay, and arrow left. Yeah, so then what we'll do is to move this one down a little bit and duplicate like this and duplicate like this. So you go to the prototype and say when there's a hover on this dude, you should change to here, while hovering instance, and while hovering instance. Okay, and then select this and this, go to design, change it to 100. So you can see they are now brighter. It's just basically whenever you hover on this one that is dark, it should be bright. So that is it there. So what we'll do is to select this one, you duplicate like this, and select this one, you duplicate like this. Okay, so you press Ctrl C and select this one, Ctrl Shift R to paste and replace, and Ctrl C, you select this one to paste and replace. Okay, so now what you can now do is to select everything here, Ctrl C like this, and Ctrl Shift R to paste and replace. But if you do it like that, it's always weird, don't know why. So Ctrl C, Ctrl Shift R, Ctrl C, Ctrl Shift R. So it's more like replacing everything with the component instance. Okay, now that we have this for, okay, so the next thing we want to do is that we want this one to stay for a while and appear, and then stay for a while and disappear, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what we do is that this one has to, when it stays for a while, okay, so for this it's going to be something like this. Okay, we'll select this one, this particular one here. Okay, and when you select the text, you see it's on a text group, so select the text inside the text group and then move it down like this, and okay, select this one, the text inside the mask group, and move it down like this. So the text should move more than the one, the header should be just as they are arranged here. As you're moving them, they should also be arranged the same way. That is, the header should be on top, and then the subheading should be on top, and all of that. Okay, sorry, the heading, that is the title, should be on top, and then the subtitle there should be below the title. Okay, so and I will select this one and I will move it down like this. Okay, you can see moving it below the subtitle. So I'm holding shift and clicking, so I'll move faster with time. So for this, I'm going to select this one, move it like this. Okay, so and then I'll select this one and move it down like this. Okay, so this one should be far away from this. I think I need to go here. Okay, then this one, the same thing. So I'm going to double click to select this, and I'll move it down like this. And I'll select this and move it down like this. Okay, and I'll select this and move it down like this. Okay, so Now you have this one empty, and you have this one everything laid out, right? For this one, I think they should also move. Okay, so if you select this one and check clipping, I think it will be much better if they are clipping, so you'll be able to understand why it's hiding and why it's not. Okay, I'll say clipping, and then this one clipping, so that whenever they are moving, you'll be able to see what is happening. Okay, like they will be hidden as the element. They will not be overlapping each other, because if they're overlapping, it will be more complicated. So when I take this one and I'll move it down like this, yeah. Okay, and this one, move it like this. Okay, so you have this here and you have this one there. Okay, you can as well select both of them at the same time and move them further. Okay, the further they go, the more the delay and the more the animation looks more appealing. Okay, so that's why I do move them far away like that. So I'm going to move this one here and this one. So what we'll do now is that this one, after some time, so we are going to select this and this one and this one and this one and here. Okay, we say after some time, I'm going to make them a component set, so there will not be one. So here I will now prototype that. You see, this particular one, after some time, it should change to this. Okay, after some times, when this one have waited for a certain time, it's going to come here, and this one waited for a long time and it's going to come here. So basically, so like this. Now you take this one here, you switch to prototype, and then you select this one here and say after some time, that is after delay, after how many, I would say maybe for a quick preview, say 20,000 milliseconds, which is 2 seconds. Okay, sorry, 2000 milliseconds. Okay, it should be smart animate, and it should be custom base here. So I'll drag this one here. I'll drag this handle like this, and this one like this. Okay, so you can see this one, when this one stays for a while. Okay, okay, I think it's a little bit confusing now. When this one stays for a while, okay, this one doesn't have to stay for a while. Okay, it just have to move immediately. So in that case, we are going to take this one to okay, I think it's better we do it now, so that you are going to understand what is happening. So you can see there's an empty distance here, and we'll say after delay, I'll change it to 2000 milliseconds, and it should be custom base here, and the distance should be 1000. Yeah, duration should be 1000 as well. I think I should change this one as well, 1000. Okay, so here, and then I'm going to take this one, it should loop, so I'll change it back to this particular one here, and after delay it should change. After 2 seconds it should change to this. Okay, now if we now take this one, Ctrl C and preview, so I'll remove this one here since we are done with that. Ctrl V, align, and press shift spacebar to preview. Okay, so you can see 2 seconds it changes. Okay, now we need to interpret what is going on. First of all, this man is not moving, and why? Because of this person here. Okay, for that man to move, the name in there must reflect the name in another area as well. So like for instance, when you come here, you see that this one is reserved, the name here is reserved, but when you come here, the name here is book a ride. So everything must have one name. That is, if it's going to have a book your ride at your own convenience, it must be book your ride in your own convenience. So I'm going to Ctrl C, okay, and select every other reserve, and make sure it's not going to affect here, just the layer name in here that it's going to affect. So I'll take this one, Ctrl V to paste the name there. Okay, and it's any other book your ride, any other reserve, yeah, it should be reserve, yeah. So I'll take this one, Ctrl Shift V, like this. Sorry, Ctrl V to just replace. So if I preview again, okay, you can see it's animating now. Okay, if I refresh, okay, so it's working fine, but we need to see why it's not looping the way it should. Okay, here when you come here to the prototype, this one says, you know what, once you have this time it should be like this. Okay, so what we'll do is to this man is that this man should be immediate 1 millisecond, after delay 1 millisecond. Okay, and this one too, this one should stay for as long as you want it to stay. Like if it's looping fast, it's not going to be nice. So 2000 is okay. Okay, so but for this, once it enters here, it should be immediate. Look at why it's not happening now, because now there is no link to this man, and that is why it disappears, but it doesn't come back again. So we'll set it to after delay 1 millisecond. Okay, on this 1 millisecond, it's going to that is, once it enters this blank area, it will take 1 millisecond to review the next element. But this one now, we now have to stay for 2 seconds, that is 2000 milliseconds. So this one will stay for 2 milliseconds, 2000 milliseconds, sorry, before it will jump to this blank area. But this blank area doesn't spend much time, just 1 milliseconds, and it will now come here. So this one will last for a while and then jump to this one, which will trigger this one immediately. But this one will last for a while and then it will jump for here. So that is basically it. So let's see. Now we have something like this. Okay, like this. Okay, so for this one to last, because it won't be nice if the animation doesn't last much. So what we'll do is to select this one, make this one to stay for about 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, or 5 is too much. Because I cannot be able to click near and it will jump. So let's make it 4 or 5. Okay, 5 seconds. So 5 seconds, it should change, and this one 5 seconds before I'm clicking on the node to be able to change the settings here. So I'll change this one to 5 seconds. That is 5000 milliseconds. Okay, so when I refresh now, I think the refresh will come in. So you can see it stays for a while, and then it will not jump to the blank area. That doesn't spend much time. Yeah. Okay, so now I want to if you hover on this, okay, you can see it gets brighter, and you hover on this, it gets brighter. But if I click now, it doesn't click here. What is happening? Like if I click, it should be able to move. So what we do is to go to this main component here. We have prototyped this man that whenever you hover on this, it should change to this, right? So sorry, whenever you hover on this, it should change to this. So now there's a way we would have done this automatically, but due to the way we started with, we are going to do it manually. I think even the manual this thing is going to help you understand what is going on better. Okay, so what we'll do now is that when I click on this one, what should happen? If I click on this one, I'm trying to go to the next one, which is this one here. Okay, so once there's a click, okay, just like that, if I click on it, it should be instance. Okay, change the animation to be instance. That means if I click on this next, it should take me to this blank area, instance. Remember, it has been prototyped that this man has to stay for a while. That means if I click here, it's going to stay for a while and jump to this one. So that means once you click here, it will automatically come here without delaying. Okay, so for this one, I'll prototype. When I click on this one, I'm expecting to go to the previous, right? So I'm going to come here. It's going to be on click and instance. Okay, the same thing here. For here, it's going to be next. So this one is going to be next, which is here. Okay, this one is going to be previous. So like if we have like many other ones, like let's say you have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 10 different titles and sub titles there. Okay, you just prototype next, but I just want it to loop. So if you click here, it takes you back to here, which will appear display this one. But when you click here, it will take you to will display this one. So basically that is how we do it. Okay, so now if I should refresh, you see when I click here, right, did you see that? So when I click, it doesn't wait anymore. Okay, but if you did not click and wait for some times, it will automatically change by itself, which is pretty cool. Okay, but if you did not, interesting, I love that. Okay, now how would this take place? Because now if you come here, it has not applied yet. Okay, everything is still static the way they were. Okay, the way it has been. So what you do is to select this one, Ctrl C to copy, and select this one. I will call this one hero. Hero section. Okay, hero section there. So select this, Ctrl C, and select this, Ctrl Shift R. Perfect. So on that area is going to be blank, but on the preview it's not blank at all. Okay, so you can see it stays. If you click, yeah, interesting, right? Okay, all right, now I think I'll select this component now and then move them somewhere here.